In this video, I'm going to go through 5 really key points if you're trying to develop your own online course or your own even blended learning course. It would also apply to that context. Now, this isn't a technical video. This is a video where I'm actually going to show you 5 key principles to think about. I've ended up making more money from doing consultancy work, helping organizations to build online and blended learning courses than I have even doing teacher training. And I've done lots of work with universities. And I'm going to go through some of the key points that I try to make to them when really helping them to understand exactly what a course should entail, an effective online or blended course. Now, what I will do for each example is I'll show you exactly what I mean. So I'll make the point and then I'll take you to some different courses that I've built and try to highlight the point I'm trying to make. Really hope the video helps you. As always, if it does, please like it, please share it with other teachers, please comment on it, and if you've got any other thoughts about what makes an effective blended or online course. I'm going to focus on 5. Let's get started. This is just some feedback from one of the students on a course that I recently run. What surprised me on the course was how clear everything was. The videos you made really helped. I make screencast videos that show my students exactly how to do everything that I want them to do, particularly in the part that's online. In other words, the work they do on the platform. So if they've got to make an e-portfolio or work with Padlet or work with Quizlet, or do something in a Google form or a Google Doc, I will make a video that shows them exactly what to do. This saves time. It means I don't get loads of emails with students struggling because they don't know what to do. Let me show you exactly what that actually looks like on one of my courses. So here's a perfect example in Unit 1.4 of this course. The students have to create a Padlet and they have to actually add audio to the Padlet. Now, maybe some of the students don't know how to do that, so I have a video that they can just click on, and I'm going to quickly show you, and it will show them immediately how. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is to add information about ourselves so that we can all have our recordings here on Padlet. All you need to do is double click on the screen. See, and the video shows them exactly what to do. Now, I do that all the way through the course. As the course continues into units 4 and 5, I do it less because obviously the students become familiar with the different activities. But at the beginning, I give them lots and lots of guidance about how to do everything on the course, including I take them through the course and show them how to navigate. All of those videos are used using Screencast-O-Matic. It's a free tool that allows me to record the screen of my computer and then to save those videos and put them into my course. And I put a link on the screen now to Screencast-O-Matic. As I've said, it's free. If you want to learn to use it, click on the link and watch the video. But that's the first point I want to make. Always have lots of support and help, and the best way to do it is through video. The next thing I want to point out is perhaps for me personally one of the most important things, and it's certainly the thing that I talk about most when I'm doing the consultancy work. There's a couple of comments here from students. I'm going to read the first one to you. You connected everything so well. I like the way the live session, the work on the platform, and even the assessment are connected together. The course is so integrated, it all fits together like a puzzle. So my courses tend to have 3 parts. That is, they have a live session, and that could either be in the class or online using Zoom or a tool like that. So there's a live component with the teacher. Then there's the other period when they're working on the platform and doing activities. Perhaps the platform is Moodle or Brightspace, etc. And then the third area is when they're doing some assessment. Now, what I try to do is integrate all 3 components, and let me try to show you exactly what I mean. So in this course that I run called Technologies and Approaches to Blended, Hybrid and Online Teaching, at the end of each unit there's a task for the students to do, and all the tasks have to go up into an e-portfolio. Now, if I just show you this example here, you're going to see a really strong connection. In the lesson, the students were put into breakout rooms to discuss what's the hardest thing about teaching online. Then on the platform, they have to go onto this Padlet and add their own opinions about what the hardest thing is about teaching online. So everybody adds an audio file onto the Padlet after the discussion they had in the lesson. So there's a direct link between what they did in class with now what they're doing for homework on the platform. But not only that, if I moved over to the ePortfolio activity for that particular unit, so what you can see here is that the students actually have to take that Padlet and embed it into their ePortfolio, and then afterwards they have to answer this question. So in other words, the whole thing is connected together. It started with an activity in the class, it went on to be an activity that the students had to do on the platform using Padlet, and now they've also got to add it into their ePortfolio and then write about how they feel about Padlets and how they could use them in their own teaching and learning. This is the connection that I try to build between the different components of the course. If you'd like more information about this course, this Technologies and Approaches to Blended Hybrid and Online Teaching course, then I'm going to put a link on the screen now that's going to link you through, give you more information about the course. Now we're going to carry on with another key thing to consider when teaching online or building an online course. I assess my courses through an ePortfolio, and I want to explain really quickly why, and then I'm going to show you an example of what an ePortfolio looks like. So my courses are made up of 3 components: a lesson, which could either be in class or online using Zoom, a platform, that's where they do a lot of the activities, particularly for homework, and then an ePortfolio, and that's where they basically, as they do different activities, they put them into their ePortfolio. Now those things that they put in their ePortfolio can be either things they've done in the lesson or in the platform, or sometimes the lesson and the platform together and then added into their ePortfolio. The idea is that the ePortfolio is a complete record of the different activities that the students do with me during the course. Now this is a digital ePortfolio because it has evidence of all types of different activities that they've done. It might be Google Docs, it might be Google Forms, it might be audios that they've created or videos that they've created, questionnaires that they've completed, etc. The idea is that all of the different activities that they do during the course are added into their ePortfolio as evidence of their learning. Let me show you an example. So here we have an example of an ePortfolio, and obviously the student produces a little profile and some information about themselves, but the most important part is that all the different things that the student does on the course are included in the ePortfolio. So I can see the examples of the Google Forms that they've created, and I can open those up and see those on the screen. I can click and see the word wall activities that they created. I've got evidence of all of the different activities they did. I got evidence of the Padlet. Remember we talked about that Padlet activity that the students do at the beginning of the course. Everything is added into the ePortfolio. It's a great way of me being able to track what the students do, and along with that the students have to write their reflections. They have to reflect on the different activities that they do with me each week. Remember, an ePortfolio always has 2 components. That is, it has the actual activities that the students engaged in, either on their own or collaboratively or in pairs sometimes, but it also has the reflections where the student answers some questions based on what they've done that particular week. This is a great way of assessing a course online, a blended learning course or an online course, because it integrates the 3 components of the course together. That is the teaching, the work on the platform, and the assessment. If you want to learn more about how to make an ePortfolio, I'm going to put a video on the screen now, a very popular one that will show you exactly how you can create an ePortfolio, and they're very, very easy to do and very, very effective to use as a form of assessment. Just a really quick break from the video. If you do like what you see and you want more free videos, please come over to teachertrainingvideos.com. Loads of content across the top here. Just click on any of those links. There's also plenty of content on the opening page. You'll also find information about the courses that I run here. The one that I've been referring to a lot in this video is Technology and Approaches to Blended Hybrid and Online Teaching. There are also other courses that I run. You can sign up to my newsletter. If you do that, you get updated with all the latest videos, the blog posts, the online courses, but also the free webinars that I often run. They're sponsored by different companies. You can read my blog. It's always on the opening page of the course at the bottom there. And you can, of course, sign up to my YouTube channel if you want to be updated with the videos on YouTube. And the final thing is you can contact me from this website. Okay, let's jump back now to the video. You might have heard about the scroll of death. The tendency, particularly in university courses, is for teachers to add loads and loads and loads of links to content that the students need to access. Really, this isn't a good way to work. You want everything to be clean and clear and digestible, and you want really just to provide one link or just a couple of things to click on a particular page. You really do need to make the content as clear as possible. Let me just kind of show you some examples of exactly what I mean. So coming to this course again, we're using this Tab Hot course. If you come down here, there's an introduction video here where I take you through how to navigate through the course. And then there are 6 units. As I've said, each unit kind of has an assessment at the end or a task to do. Let's actually go into one of the units and see how they're laid out. If I click on this unit to open it up, there's an opening image on the screen. You move to the next page. There's some information about what you're going to learn. You move to the next page. You get a very short introduction plus an intro video where I introduce the unit to you and talk to you a little bit about what we're going to learn and what we're focusing on, etc. If we then move on to the next part, again, we get a little activity to do while you're watching the video. Notice how many links there are on a page. Often there's just one thing to click on, and I make it very visually appealing. There's not too much information. Sometimes the videos are actually on the screen, images are on the screen. Sometimes you have to click to play the video depending on exactly what I'm presenting. But the whole idea is that the amount of information is digestible. It doesn't overwhelm the students, and it's very clear and easy to navigate through the course. This final point comes up a lot when I'm doing training, particularly at university level. Let's try to explain what I mean by the word completed. Often teachers will ask students, for example, to write in a forum, or perhaps to have a discussion in a Google Doc, or perhaps to share their ideas in a Wakelet. Now, what tends to happen is that often the teachers don't do anything with that activity. That is, the students work together and collaborate on something, but it's left uncompleted. There's no feedback on it, etc. One of the reasons this often happens is it can be a lot of work. For example, let's say you've got 30 or 40 people writing on a forum. Then it can be a lot of work to respond to everyone. But the secret really is to look for different ways of completing activities, making sure that always the students see that you are responding and reacting to their content. So, for example, you might have 20, 30 people write on a forum, you quickly read their posts, you write a summary. Perhaps you ask other students to read the posts and to write a summary. Perhaps you do an activity in the class where the students work in groups, read the forum and then summarize. You want to be making sure that you're always using the content that the students generate. We call this student-generated content. And one of the tendencies is that we often leave activities up in the air. We don't complete them. And therefore the students kind of get the message that, well, it doesn't really matter if I write in the forum or share my ideas in the Google Doc or add up my audio, because no one is responding to it. You need to think of innovative, intuitive, interesting ways of responding to the content, and that can be through group work that you do with the students, that can be through you giving feedback or summarizing or getting the students to summarize, etc. But it's absolutely key. Okay, hope that video was useful. As I've said, please come to teachertrainingvideos.com. Loads more free videos on all different sorts of subjects. If you were interested in doing a course with me, you've got all the information here on the front page. The one that I was talking about today was Technologies and Approaches to Blended, Hybrid and Online Teaching, but there are other courses. Don't forget, if you want to sign up to the newsletter, and we do offer free webinars to the people that have subscribed to the newsletter. They're sponsored by various organisations. And I'm going to leave on the screen now a few more videos that you might find interesting.